organize parties on our birthdays, and then before the era of the Instagrams, the leadership didn't understand. The leadership didn't understand why. Ask Manus, we had to teach them. Because our Oscar Bebechugan, we brought it to the ANC. For the first time in 2009, when Pope was trying to get to the youth through popular culture, we dominated. It's not permanent feature that every election you must employ that tactic we employed 10 years ago in that campaign. It changes all the time. All the good things they learn from us because we are able to adapt. So you can march, you should march. You don't have to ask sometimes. You ask a lot. And then don't be irritated when you speak and then we call you. We were called like that many times. It happened to Lulu. I don't want to talk about his experience. He's here. He should have spoken about it. He didn't speak about it. It happened to Peter. It happened to me. It happened to Manus. In my own experience, I escaped DC because I said women are paraplegic. And then I was supposed to go to the DC of the ANC. And the SG of the ANC defended me. That no, and it was linked to the ANC National Conference because we were opposed to the president that term. And we became aware that in that third term opposition, we were joined also by Wounded Lions who joined our popular campaign. We brought them in and we accepted it because when we went to Pulwa and we said no to 2 centers of power and no to third term, it's because comrades went to comrades today and then they said to him, you are still young, what are you going to do? Continue. And we were telling the whole of Africa that we, the ANC and our leaders, 2 terms is enough. So these ones, they said, no, at an organizational level, the president can continue, and then the ANC can have another president. We said, what principle guides that? Except just people's feelings. Who said that the president cannot be replaced? We didn't find President Mbeki personally, but there are others who were fighting him because they could not handle him at an ideological level, including in the alliance. In the alliance, the outcry then, we had a very, very intelligent president of the ANC. One time I found myself in the toilet with Peter Mdaba, and then he said to me, what are we going to do? I said, what? He said, this president is too intelligent, more than all of us, is dangerous for the revolution. I said, how is it dangerous? Is it not beneficial? He said, no, that is wrong. It's a problem. This man is too intelligent. He's too intelligent. It's a problem. And then that is the kind of president we had, Comrade T. And others came because in the alliance, they said, no, the president takes decisions unilaterally. Because the president was engaging. And one time in the meeting of the alliance, we found ourselves in a meeting with President Mbeki. Other comrades were still coming. But the alliance component, all of them were present. They were there in the meeting at Shell House. And then as part of the Youth League, we were part of the delegation. So we arrived with the president. So they said, no, how are we going to start the meeting? Because the ANC delegation is not all of them here. It's COSATU and the Communist Party, Omadish. So we raised the hand in that meeting. No, the delegation will find us on the way. The man you want to kill is around. Let's start, because you say the problem is the president. Let's start. Here is the man you want. And then President Mbeki presented a discussion document for that meeting. I think the title was Domestic and International Setting Analysis in the meeting. And then the ANC was too strong for the allies. I'm saying it boldly and openly to you. So when we went to Pulugwan, because of that, other comrades joined us because they wanted to get rid of this nemesis, Volta. And then we, at that time, were very principled on what we wanted to achieve. Don't blame us on the candidate. We feel that we wanted Zuma. So I was with Caesar. We went to Mbeki. That's where our friendship with TM ended. It was Monday morning. So I'm concluding on that part. It was Monday morning. The NEC of the Youth League had decided we never took decisions and not brief the ANC. We took a decision that no to 2 centers of power, no to third term, and then we were now developing a document which we developed, and then we took that document to the ANC. And then we had to brief the leadership on leadership issues. So I was mandated with him as SG and president. So we arrived in the morning, Monday morning, we briefed TM. And that, as the youth league, we have decided that, you must not come back as the third term. Yeah, no, we were not gossiping. You must not come back. And then, we are still discussing names. But they will come and brief you about it. That meeting didn't end. And then TM said, Chiefs, please can you go, man, please. I don't know, why are you in a hurry for this? Why is the youth league in a hurry for this? Out of so many things, youth development and so on. You just come here and discuss leadership. Chiefs, we have got to go to a meeting. Thanks. Hey, we left with this man. Now, we were saying, this is how OR and Mandela were dismissed by Pooh. And then in the morning, and then they had to walk in the early hours. Nam no Sifia, but we didn't have to walk. We had to take a lift to the 7th floor. And then the president dismissed us. But that's what happened. But that's not the only thing. Even the eye of the needle, it was the product of the youth. In African conference of the ANC, when everybody left the ANC, went to government, our first conference we convened was in Mangaung, Bloemfontein. And that conference elected Bantu Holomisa as number 1 in the additionals. We then saw there's a problem with this organization. We can't have Holomisa ahead of our leaders. Just imagine our conference as number 1. We said there is a problem of leadership. We went to Lutuli House and produced a document called Organizational and Leadership Issues. First time, you must go to Google. And then we started to characterize the problems of the ANC, subjective and objective weaknesses of the ANC, forcing a discussion in the organization. And then we started to say, no, leadership has forgotten about the organization. They've all left. They are enjoying blue life. They're in government and all of that proper. That document tabled by Phoebe and Malusi on our behalf in the working committee. We went to the NEC of the ANC. We took it to the national conference. The eye of the needle was born because of the ANC youth. So, Youth League has always made strategic interventions in the life of the African National Congress. Not howling. The period of howling came with Julius. And the reason Julius we differed because other comrades wanted Saki. And then we said, no, Julius must come in. We cannot have presidents of the Youth League who are over age all the time. But the person who wanted to be president was Songes. And when we win in Pulugwani conference, Songes will come to my room. We won yesterday, we had a party, we were Papa last. And then he came to my room and then he started to say to me, hey, President, what do you think about the conference? Did you end out? I mean, we come from a hectic thing like this. You want us to discuss the Youth League conference? We'll discuss it at home. I know. I kept coming back, and then I just said, no, I think Julius must take over. Yo! He came to Joburg, convinced everybody during December, no, that president is a problem. He wants that boy from the Limpopo to take over. But I motivated that, look, why? We will train him, but it is time that somewhere we must leave Youth League to the youth. We cannot leave the Youth League all the time at the age of 37. And then the Youth League president all the time. Peter Mugaba left the Youth League, he was old. We only discovered at this party that he was 40. This man, leading us over age. So we said, no man, let's prepare this. Of course we differed. Others argued for tradition and all of that. And obviously the preparations for that conference at the political level, we cannot be proud of because the membership was a disaster. People were showing buttocks and all of that. Now, howling and not engaging began to be the talk of the town of the Youth League that is not engaging. And then did not reflect militancy. Whilst we're still working on that, the Youth League was disciplined and Malema was expelled. We went to the DC of the ANC. That's when the thing started to go wrong. Because the reason why I was defended, Khalima said, you cannot doubt the bona fides of the Youth League president. The Youth League president is a Youth League president. He defended our autonomy, not Mbalula. And then he started to give me politics. Why? I must not call women paraplegic. Because those women, when I arrived there in that meeting where I was arguing paraplegic, I was speaking English, I said it's figurative speech. And then there was Mavivi Yaga Yaga that side, and then he looked at me, she cried. It was as though I'm referring to her. And then Khalima said, as the SG, the ANC will apologize on behalf of the ANC, which is what he did. But comrades, he was defending our autonomy. That's why when we apologize on behalf of the ANC, when Colin has said something wrong, it's not like we are defending the Youth League autonomy because it is through the Youth League we learn, fight and produce. There's no other learning platform. There's no other learning platform in the ANC other than the Youth League. So that's what we're defending. And the ANC Secretary General understood that these ones, they must be dealt with. And after that NWC meeting, he took me every day, lunchtime and all of that. Why this thing is not done? Comrade President of the Youth. But Terra was in a hurry to hang me. Now, when Malema was taken to the DC, we warned against that. That you are now taking away the Youth League, he must be corrected. But others took him to the DC for wrong reasons. Because Malema was beginning now to talk things that others knew how they came into presidency. That if we can allow this Youth League like this, it means it will affect my presidency. So we must get rid of them. And they did. And that was a disaster. And then we went to a conference of the Youth League elected leadership. That leadership did not finish its mandate. A task team was established. And then a conference was convened, successful. Pule was trotting. He will be talking today as former president. And then when we arrived there in that conference, mina angitsho sengingaphandle. Siyafika laphana, nabo malusi were invited as always. Hey, the delegates, the conference is correcting. nicely. I get a message there that this thing is not going to continue. How? Why? The leadership has taken a decision. There is a problem. What is the problem? No, there is a problem here. Apparently, this conference is a problem. Somebody went to gossip to the leadership and said, that Pulemabe, if you think Julius was a problem, you will see Pulemabe on steroids. Cannot be allowed. And then they started to concoct funny things that is working for CIA, he's got a lot of money and all of that. And then it was going to be the SG, this was the president. You are born to Bangena Bebalega. The conference, the comrades were going to have their delegates. The conference is corrected nicely. I get a message there that this thing is not going to